Commercial Real Estate Show videos are brought to you by Babish, Neiman, Kornman & Johnson, certified public accountants and consultants. Visit bnkj.com. And by Bull Realty, commercial brokerage services. When your business requires proven performance, visit bullrealty.com. Welcome to the Commercial Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us to lead, learn, and laugh. Learn market knowledge and best practices to lead your company's success. And that's whatever type of company you work with. And laugh, I think we do have to have some fun along the way, don't we? Well, hello, I'm Michael Bull, your host to the world of commercial real estate. Thanks for joining us today. Remember, if you have any commercial real estate questions or if you have comments about the show, we do appreciate hearing from you. Our phone number is 888-612-SHOW. Our email is info@creshow.com. Or you can reach us through your favorite social media. You can find them all at the show website, commercialrealestateshow.com. Well, today we have a very exciting show for you. Our topic is social media for business. So whether you're in the beginning stages of using social media for your business or you're an experienced user and you're looking to improve your social media strategies, this will be a very enlightening show. First, we'll talk with Shama Kabani, author of The Zen of Social Media Marketing. Shama will share some key social media strategies for corporate users. Then we'll talk to two commercial real estate brokers who have had incredible success creating a social media presence. Well, first, please welcome Shama Kabani to the show. Shama is a web and TV personality, a best-selling author, an international speaker, and she is CEO of Marketing Zen Group, a global digital marketing firm. Shama, welcome back to the Commercial Real Estate Show.
Thank you so much for having me back.
Well, we appreciate you spending some time with us today. I've first of all got to tell you, I love your book, The Zen of Social Media Marketing. It's excellent, and I do hereby recommend it to all our listeners. And what's new for readers in your second edition?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for recommending it. Nothing means more to an author than readers who like the book. The second edition was the way social media is, of course, is ever changing. And we wanted to give more updated information. For example, when I wrote the first edition, Google Plus was not even in the picture. So we talk more about Google Plus. We've beefed up the SEO chapter from feedback we've gotten from the first edition. Twitter has changed so much, Facebook, and the very strong emphasis now on pages and advertising for businesses. So it's a lot more robust and a lot more updated. Okay. Well, that's excellent. And we're going to put a link on the show website in a few minutes so that listeners can go there and check out the book, get a bit of a preview and order it if they'd like to do that. Okay, perfect. Well, Shama, help us get an understanding of the power of social media for marketing and business purposes. What are some of the numbers and how many users, how much time are people really spending on social media? Well, there's so many numbers I could share with you, but I'll share with you some key ones. LinkedIn now has 100 million users. Facebook, 750 million. Twitter is somewhere around 275 million. Wow. And just to give you a sense, Twitter used to have, when I first got on it, 2,000 users. Wow. And this was not, back in the 90s. This is 2008. So it's amazing how fast it's grown. They're saying that 1 in every 13 people on Earth is on Facebook. Wow. And half of them are logged on in any given day. And these are not kids. 48% are 18 to 34-year-olds. Yeah, it's really changing out there, isn't it? It is. And there's another statistic that I recently saw that I was interesting. It said 50% of people talk to people more online than they do in real life. Some of it may be like, oh my God, that's so sad. We're sort of losing, touch with face-to-face. And of course that face-to-face is important. But it's wonderful now that, the people that we talk to online really never have had the chance to reach in person. Parents have a better chance of staying connected with their kids. Even when you move across, location doesn't play. An actual location doesn't hinder communications. I have really good friends for my travels in Hong Kong, in Australia, and I get to keep in touch with them and build real relationships. And you just couldn't do that if you didn't have these tools. Yeah, it's interesting. I was at dinner with my daughter the other night, and so to talk to her, I went ahead and sent her a text so I could get her attention.
It's amazing. Well, Shama, what are your recommendations for business users and corporate users who maybe are just starting to use social media or in the beginning stages?
Well, so what's interesting is that keeping in the vein of the earlier statistics, 90% of businesses surveyed recently said that they were planning on using social media this year. So that's good news. That's 82% was last year, and before that it was pretty much no one. So it's great to see so many people coming on board. And businesses, the most important thing you have to realize is figuring out what is your business strategy. What are you trying to accomplish? So many people jump on social media because they think it's sexy, because it's cool, it's what they're supposed to be doing. They feel, the numbers certainly justify that. But the important thing is to make sure it fits your business strategy. Is it so you can keep in touch with prospects? Is it so you can attract more people to your business? Is it that you really want to build, credibility for yourself online? So these are the sorts of questions that it's very important to answer. And then I feel like the social media piece follows very naturally because you say, okay, what tool fits my need rather than, what need do I need to create for this tool?
Right. So you think about who you're reaching, and then when you do reach them, what is it you're trying to get them to do, right? What do you want them to think, feel, or click, right?
Exactly.
Okay. And, I've heard of some companies that prohibit their folks from writing blogs and even being interviewed by the media and actually restricting their access to social media. In fact, I've had one company owner said that he increased productivity by restricting social media from his employees. But then I see some companies who are promoting it or doing well with it. What are your recommendations to companies for social media policies?
Well, it's it's funny because I was just talking to a reporter about this, and it's kind of very similar. I mean, I don't think we connected so well, but like when email first came out, it was like, oh, it kills productivity.
Oh, it does.
Let's back it up. But all of these things that we're talking about are essentially tools.
Yeah.
And the premise here is by blocking accessibility, we will increase productivity. Except that accessibility really isn't in your hands to block. Because it's not like the only access they have the work computer.
Right.
They have mobile phones, and there's of course smartphones is what most people use. You've got iPads, you have your own wireless connections, and so just firewalling the work computer. It's not. First of all, it's not very efficient and it's not effective.
Right.
I think a much more effective route. My recommendation is, you're right to be worried. There are challenges, there are potential pitfalls, but that's why you train people. It took us a while to figure out that hitting reply all on emails and forwarding every single email was not the smart thing to do.
Right.
But we figured it out. So a lot of this etiquette and these things that we sort of learn as we go. And I feel like companies are really doing themselves a disservice if they're prohibiting that because they could be using those same people and those tools as leveraging that for the better. If a message has to go out, why can't it be positive? Why can't it help the company? And why can't you sort of leverage that workforce? The other thing that I think you're facing is also, employee retention, especially the younger and younger generations. As you get to hire people, that's something that, for a lot of people, if you ask them, it's more important for them to be connected and have that freedom than even make a higher salary.
Right.
We've done studies on this. So you've got to ask yourself some questions in terms of what kind of environment do you want, what kind of people will you attract, especially when it's so easy to have that productivity and still be able to leverage the tools for the better.
That's a good point. Well, Shama, do you have any tips for companies to decide whether they should be doing this in-house with their current people or if they should hire new people to help them with their social media strategies in-house, or if they should consider third-party companies?
Sure. So this is what we tell clients. If you have the resources and time and expertise in-house, do it in-house. If you've got people who understand social media, they have the skills, you have the budget to hire folks in-house, great. I think the issue often becomes that the companies don't have those resources. And, then that's perfectly fine to look outside. There's a lot of times we work with companies who have in-house and still work with agencies because they want that ongoing experience. It's funny because people say, ask me what my job is, and I say it's keeping up. It's every morning I wake up and I say, what's changed? And sometimes 8 things have changed before lunch hour. Right. And that's just sort of the world we live in. And keeping up with that and sort of jumping, when there's something new, making the most of every opportunity, that's tough. And I think that's where working with outside help can be to your benefit if that's something that you're really looking into.
Okay, so you should consider, I guess, the size of your company, the mission, and who you have in-house, and make decisions from there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Look at your budget, look at what you're trying to accomplish, look at, are you looking to take a more reactive approach? Are you looking for a more proactive approach? These are all sort of questions that you might answer any time before hiring any company. It really is no different.
Yeah, it's definitely something that most companies, or maybe all companies, should at least be considering getting into. Okay, we'll have to take a short, quick break. We'll be right back with more social media tips from Shama Kabani. I'm Michael Bull, and this is the Commercial Real Estate Show. We'll be right back.